Vanda Black was found the next morning. Like all of the Highlands executioner victims, she'd been decapitated.
And like all the other victims, the head was never found and assumed to be taken as trophy.
This brought the body count to 20, while the head count remained at 0.
Ouch.
And while we know that the executioner waited until the moment that Vanda Black would be alone, we still don't know how he chose her or why.
With the executioner's recent death during a one-sided shootout with the police, that information will be lost to time.
But through the ongoing efforts of independent investigators like ourselves, who can go places and do things the police can't, one day, the truth will be uncovered.
And all of the families of the executioner's victims,
ourselves included,
will get the closure that we need.
Join us next time as we take a look at victims 21 and 22, including a shocking beheading that took place in broad daylight. We've even got a replica of the knife that the executioner used. And we'll discuss the logistics of daylight beheadings. Wowza!
Special thanks this week goes out to Kevin420 for the hot tip on how the executioner may have been driven by a jealous rage over a jilted spouse.
We are one step closer to finding out why he killed our mother, who we were too young to even know.
This is the True Crime Siblings Podcast, signing off. See ya.
See ya. Okay, good. I think we used that.
My face hurts.
Come on, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, you don't have to edit.
Very well. I am going to sit here and marinate with my thoughts for a few minutes. I think I've got some great ideas for next week.
Oh, we've got mail. We got a big one, addressed to you, of course. Can't believe we actually got fan mail. Maybe they sent some pictures, or... Oh! Hello! There's some plans or something in here.
What do you mean plans?
Like schematics, or like a machine, or blueprints.
Let me see.
Dear True Crime Siblings, I'm a big fan of the podcast. Nice. I'm a researcher. I do biochemistry. I lost my wife because of the executioner. My work is on the head and the brain, and recently I had a breakthrough. The nature of the breakthrough is not something I can share with my colleagues. The ethics of the process are highly questionable. It involves reanimating dead flesh. When I heard the executioner's death and how he died, I first thought of my wife, and then my breakthrough. Then I thought of you. As podcasters, you can go places and do things that the police can't. Maybe you can take my plans and get some answers. A well-wisher.
Reanimating dead flesh?
These plans are...
Give it some more juice. Is it?
I don't know.
Maybe some more?
Don't tell me what to do.
So, here we are.
You don't seem surprised.
Should I be? The machine worked wonders.
How do you know?
I'm familiar with the research.
You killed the researcher's wife.
Yes, I did.
We know. You're the reason we grew up in foster care.
Of course you know. You're the famous podcasters. Tell me. Tell me about me.
Paul.
Kim, he's ahead. What's he gonna do?
I don't know. I don't like this.
He's ahead. Look, if it gets too scary, we unplug him, put him back, and never tell anybody about what we did. Okay?
Just unplug me. If things get too scary.
I'm not scared of you.
Good.
I think you're a broken little nothing who killed our mother. You probably weren't man enough for her.
If only you knew what women I've had.
At knife point, maybe.
For someone who idolizes serial killers, they're not being very respectful.
Idolizes? No, we do the podcast so we can understand the monsters of society.
Get inside their heads. Think like they think. See through their eyes.
Don't twist what we do.
We dug you up and brought you back so we could ask you some questions.
Lovely. I like answering questions. I'm dying to answer them. Literally dying. Again. For the second time. It's quite the experience. Definitely worth it, let me tell you. You brought a microphone.
You had a 20-year career as a serial killer before you were killed in a shootout with police last month.
Pleasure was all mine.
You killed 24 people. You left 24 headless corpses.
Yes. Everyone wants to know what I did with the heads. Where I put them. As if they'd want to find them.
Everyone who lost a family member would.
I would.
Of course you would.
Where are they? Just tell us.
My lab.
Your lab? You mean you experimented on them?
My unauthorized biographers surmised that I kept them as trophies. The fool.
What did you do with them?
I preserved them. None of them went to waste. My early methods were crude, yes, and a lot of tissue was lost. But every dead cell put me one step closer to the preservation breakthrough. That's keeping my own head so very fresh.
You monster!
The life of the body is almost entirely contained in the head. The rest is just resources, transportation, expendable, replaceable.
So you want to be a head hooked up to a machine?
I want immortality. The reason for every effort of art and science mankind has ever made. I could save my head, but my body had terminal cancer. I could save my head, but not my lungs, not my liver.
You wanted to be caught.
Not caught. Killed. My body riddled with bullet holes.
You wore that helmet. Everyone thought it was to conceal your identity.
So tell me, where do you plan to air this little interview?
Well...
On the podcast. I think that would be best.
Yeah. Right?
But first, you should tell your listeners that you built a machine that science would find reprehensible. And then you dug up a body and used a replica of a serial killer's favorite knife to cut the head off the corpse you dug up.
Oh.
You forgot those things. Having too much fun.
Stop it, that's sick.
spend enough time inside the mind of a killer, you start to act a lot like him. Especially if you cut off his head.
We're not like you.
You never even had a chance. You were born to be following in my footsteps. Grown.
You know, I never killed your mother. That's the greatest irony in all this.
The thing you blame me for most was never my kill to claim. For all I know, she could even be alive. I did, however, kill my wife. She was the first. I caught her with her faculty advisor, the department head. Simpering little maggot and his tenure. But that stupid, ungrateful, unfaithful witch was never your mother. And your father, unable to care for you and embarrassed, he left you in a foster home. But he watched over you, sent you true crime books and articles about your mother's killer, and science books. He set you on your way, didn't he?
It was you. You wrote the letter. You did the research. You set this all up from the beginning.
My son, you've done so well. You're everything I hoped for.
What about Mom?
There was a cold storage facility in a complex where I rented a lab. They kept eggs frozen for rich, successful women who were too busy to have children until they made their first million.
You stole? Who was she?
I never read the labels.
You monster! I can't. I shouldn't have done this.
Wait.
Yes, wait. You haven't even heard the best part. The next step. Because I intend on taking one. I want a body. I need your hands. But if it gets too scary, you can always just unplug me.
Unplug this. What are you doing?
I've been thinking.
You should stop that.
He's right.
No, he's not. He's a monster. Everything he says is lies.
We followed him for years. We dug up his body. We cut off his head with a replica of his knife. We're like him.
Even if we are, this is our chance to change that, Paul.
What if this research saves lives?
Saves lives?
People kept alive until they can get a new body.
You can't be serious.
We have to help him. He didn't really kill Mom. We hated him for nothing.
We hated him because he killed 24 people.
For science.
What would you know about science? I need everything. The machine, the podcast.
Some good can come of this.
No way, I'm gonna end this.
I can't let you do that, Kim.
You're gonna attack me with that?
Oh, what? You're gonna kill me? Like, who's the monster now?
All of us.